So, different accents and cultural effects and their impact on pronunciation. What is the relationship between different accents and pronunciation in cultural context? If you have any example, please share from your school or anywhere else.
Mm. So, uh, different accents, in particular, and how they impact sort of like pronunciation. I mean, it varies, right? It varies by language. It also varies by, obviously, place of origin. So, for example, in the Arab world, right? Certain letters exist within the Arabic language that don't exist in other languages, right? For example, you have the Ain letter, and how, or the Kha and the Dad, and these kind of letters, right? That sort of shift and differ in the way that they're pronounced. You get an English speaker who tries to speak Arabic, they struggle with the variations between, let's say, the ha and the ha, right? And trying to understand how stresses shift between those. Same thing goes when a speaker of another language tries to, let's say, come to English, right? And how sort of the impact of their own sort of linguistic background shifts the way in which or I guess changes the way in which they sort of pronounce different words in English. I'm thinking of, for example, my father, when he first came to the United States, one of the words that he really struggled with, he struggled in general with compound words, but one of the things he struggled with in particular was the pronunciation of comfortable, right? He would always enunciate every section, comfortable, right?
Yeah.
This chair is comfortable, right? And so these sorts of things, it took him decades to learn sort of the colloquial way in which it's spoken. So these sorts of things are really sort of impactful. And I would say in terms of the way in which sort of linguistic background impacts that, I think it's extremely important. Also, it's important for us to keep in mind not to be too sort of Anglocentric when we think about this as well, right? Because again, this also occurs between various languages. People going from, let's say, Turkish to Arabic, Arabic to Turkish, German to French, so on and so forth.
Can we change their pronunciation with time? The student from other countries, let's say we have Russian kid and he's speaking English with Russian accent. Can we do it like American accent? Is it possible, do you think?
It depends. It really, a lot of this comes into like a sort of immersion at home, and being able to sort of, what kinds of media is that child sort of intaking, right? Are they taking in Russian, let's say it's a Russian student. Is that child intaking sort of mostly Russian media at home? Are they mostly intaking American media, right? Who are their friends? Are their friends English speakers from America? Is their English being spoken at home? How often are they using it? How often are they making an effort to adjust their accent, right? For example, I have a Turkish friend who married a woman from New Zealand and lived in New Zealand for 16 years. When he speaks English, he speaks like he's from New Zealand. I actually thought he had been born in New Zealand. That is how distinctive his accent is. I didn't know he was Turkish until he told me he was Turkish. I was like, oh, fascinating. So this is, I think, a testament to sort of that immersion, right? He was immersed in the dialect of English that's spoken in New Zealand. So there you go.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all.